We're finally getting to doing the river right now on Reid's Train Stuff. Hello, welcome to Reid's Train Stuff, model train and how-to videos. So if you're building a model railroad and want some tips and ideas, or you just like watching trains run around, well, hit that subscribe button, then hit the bell so you'll be notified of my upcoming videos. Well, welcome back, or hello if it's your first time here. Today we're finally getting that river done after a couple of weeks, probably nearly a month, or I just haven't had the time. So as I said, just going to show you some simple techniques on how to make a really good looking river, and detail a little bit too. So anyway, let's get into it, eh? Alright, thought I'd just show you the products I'm going to be using to make the river. So I'm just using the Woodland Scenics Realistic Water. It's a good product, no mixing, straight in. You can add tints to it and things too. The water effects, which helps create waves and ripples and water effects, as the name says. Just a skewer, and it's this little plastic tub. So that's all we need to get the water in. So let's get into it, eh? One important thing you have to do is make sure wherever the river comes to like an edge, is make sure you put a dam in there, or you're not really going to have any water in your layout. It's just going to have a big mess. So I've had a lot of people put some styrene down with some, and stick some clear chalk, silicone. But I found all I use is some, I just use the blue painter's tape. And just put it there, make sure you've got it all wherever the water's going to go. And I just burnish it nice and hard against the surface. Like so. And that creates a good dam. And so if you rub your finger along there, really seal it against there. I've never had a problem with it leaking, so that's one very important thing you have to do. Alright, so what I've done, I've just put the realistic water into the plastic container, make it easy to pour, and then using the skewer. So what you do with the skewer is you run it slowly down the skewer, so that is to help eliminate air bubbles. You still may get some air bubbles, but you can easily try to get them out after you've poured it. So anyway, let's get into it, eh? And get my hands right. Okay, so just slowly put that there. And it's not working as well as I meant to. Just slowly let it run down the skewer. And I can already see thousands of air bubbles, which hopefully I'll be able to get rid of. Can't really do this one again. And that's all you do, you just slowly pour it down on the skewer. This stuff's self-leveling, so I think I did forget to mention, but make sure you've got your, wherever you're pouring your water, nice and level. So we'll just continue doing that, and we'll come back and have a look. Right, one thing you do have to do is when you're working with this, you just want to just got to tease it into the shoreline a bit. So there's a whole heap of air bubbles there, so we can hopefully get rid of those. So just tease it in. A few air bubbles there, so just sort of try to get in, flick them out. So anyway, that's that part. As you can see, it's it's white before it dries, but it dries clear, so well 24 hours we'll come back and have a look at it, eh? Alright, so we've poured the roux up, and I just wanted to show you that just putting the tape, pushing it really hard on there has been no leaks. It's a wonderful thing. So let's peel it off, eh? Alright, so you see there's this big lip of where the material has come up. So all you got to do there is just get a knife. Unfortunately I don't have on me. So you just get a knife and you just make sure it's nice and sharp. Just run it right along. Like so. That'll just smooth it off. So there we go. So simple. Alright, so we've poured the roux up, and as you can see, I've actually got some nice ripple effect without even putting any of the water effects on. I think it has a lot to do because how I set it when I did it, I didn't make it so I could make it really deep, because with the water effect, the realistic water, the maximum you can meant to pour it is 1/8 of an inch, which I think is approximately about 3 to 4 millimeters. And this is, I've only poured this, it's about 2 millimeters deep, which I think's probably roughly, I have a guess, 1/16 of an inch. So just guessing on that, because I don't know. But basically, because the bottom, the base was rough, it's picked up all the little undulations and stuff, and it's actually, I said, it's got a nice like running water effect without actually having to do anything, which I think it's come out quite good. I think the colours, I probably could have gone a bit deeper with the green and make a bit more depth, but as you can see, I think it's still come out quite well. So we'll get on with some more stuff, eh? Yeah, one thing I learnt afterwards, that the water effect, the realistic water, actually even says it on the bottle that not to use PVA glue, white glue. And as you can see from these white spots here, this is what happens. I actually had a couple of spots in places where I put some of those reeds I did, where I put them up on, made the reeds, and I put them on because I used to use white glue, and there were some major big white spots. So I covered a few of those. I used some, put a log over one of them and just put some greenery over that. But I think I'll be able to fix that up when I put the water effects on a bit later. So just something I thought I'd let you know. So because I never knew it. So. Alright, so now we're going to put the water effects on. A couple of things. Don't worry about those little white spots here. That's just the light reflecting off a few little bumps that are in the actual water. What I did forget to do, I should have actually covered this. It's in my garage, and there's a few specks. I don't know if you can see them, but there's a few little bits of dust and dirt which have landed on it while it was finishing. And of course it's in there, so it's alright, we can cover those up with the water effects. So anyway, with the Woodland Sneaks water effects, firstly what I'm saying is that what I do is that sort of this end up here, if I can get my finger, I'm just going to leave that the way it came out, just so it's just a smooth, got a few little ripples that came out naturally when it dried. but from around here coming into this area, I wanted a bit more, looking a bit more rougher water. So all the water effects, and you do, simple product. Hopefully, just pour it on like that, and just get a brush, and you just start making a stippling motion like this. Now you can make it heavier, lighter, depending how you want it. That'll just, although it looks, like I said, it looks a bit white and a bit weird now. Once it dries, it'll actually give you the effect of running water. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to keep on doing this, and then we'll come back and have a look when it's dry. Okay, so you can see we'll just do a quick pan here, and you see I've got down here where I haven't put any of the water effects, so it's just that more clear, flat, but I've got that roughness in the way it dried. I'll just pan around here. Okay, now it's sort of starting to get in where I'm having a bit more of the rougher water, where I just use a smaller brush, and here I just put it really lightly to sort of show where the water's just starting to get a bit faster. Just come right around, as you can see, that effect looks like running water. So let's continue on, eh? Alright, so now we're going to just do some, make some rapidy looking things, like around, see rocks and things in the water, where get that rapidy look around them in the direction of the water. So it's fairly easy to do. So we just get the water effects and just come dabbing it around the rock like that, and sort of just feather it out a bit. So it just looks around there a bit. That's it. Now you can make this a bit thicker because you want it a bit more pronounced. So and you feather it out. But you get the idea there. So anyway, I'll go around and do a bit more of that, and we'll come back onto the next step. Alright, so now we're just going to paint those rapids I just did around the rocks. And it's a simple technique of just getting some white paint and dry brushing it on. And for anyone who doesn't know what dry brushing is, it's you get some paint on your brush and you pretty much wipe it on a paper towel and just get probably 90 to 95% of the paint off. So there's just a little bit left in the brush, and it just touches, just go over lightly, and it just touches the top. So let's see how this goes. Hopefully it'll work out nicely. That's that. So bring it down, slightly dry brush it like that. Hopefully. And just got to make sure, like I did before, just make sure you just feather it out so it comes to that little point where it disappears. Doesn't have to be much. So see, you can just see that's just showing that little bit of light water around there. So it's a very easy technique. That I'm not the world's greatest at it, but I still think I can get a fairly decent looking job. Just a little bit going up there too. So anyway, I'll continue doing the rest of it, and then we'll come back and have a look at the finished product. Alright, so there's the river finally done. So let's just have a quick overview of it. Sorry if the camera's a bit shaky. But as you see, you can see in here where I've used the water effects, where it has a nice effect where it's running water. white parts for like the little rapids coming around the rocks and a few logs there. Just slowly go up this way. So then sort of just around here I've put on really finely just to sort of have it like where it's just starting to get a bit more fast with the water flow. And it's just up here where it's nice and smooth. So some of the light reflecting makes it look a bit weird, but when you actually see it in person it still has a very nice effect. You might notice a few of the reeds and grasses I put around sort of got a bit flattened when I put the water in. But what I'm going to do there is might just put some more in a bit at a later date. So alright, so there's the river finally done, and if I can focus this in, we're starting to get near the end of the diorama. Alright, well that's the river done finally. You see, just not too hard to do. Just using the Woodland Scenics realistic water. Obviously there are other products out there you can use as well. That's just a very simple product. There's no mixing, just a one part straight in, and it works quite well. And then using the water effects to add like the ripples, make it look like it's running water, and then just using that simple technique of just dry brushing that bit of white on to make it look like a bit of a rapid where the water's coming around rocks and other such things. So very simple. And one thing I didn't mention is I did show you where I used the white glue and it made it all very opaque. Well, I had this sit, the water was sitting here for a few weeks, and I realised when I went to do it that it actually cleared up. So more lessons learned. So, and then with the doing the reeds where I pushed it in too hard and made them all flat, so I'm going to add some extras after that. So, but anyway, that's how to do a river. Looking forward to getting into the next part. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit that subscribe button and hit the bell so you'll be notified of upcoming videos. Give it a thumbs up. Share this video with anyone you think may like it. And please leave a comment down below. Alright, well next week we're getting closer and closer to the end of this diorama build, so let's see what we've got in store next week, because I haven't exactly worked that out yet. So anyway, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on Reid's Train Stuff. Bye.